So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And today I'm joined all the way from Germany. I have Sebastian. He's the drummer for Neaera, which is a metalcore band from Germany. And they've been around now. It's going to be 20-year anniversary in 2024. First of all, Sebastian, how are you?
Thanks, I'm great. It's in Germany, it's already evening, so
Yeah, that's why
most of the day's work is done.
every
And
time
I'm
I
kind of,
start my video, I say good morning, good night, because it depends on where you're in the world. It may be morning, it may be night, or people may be watching this in the bathroom. I don't know. But
we
wherever
don't know.
they are, just as long as they enjoy the content. So yeah, this is your album number 8, and you
Yeah.
guys you guys put out an album in 2014, and then you took like a hiatus, and you decided to do a comeback in 2020, obviously not knowing what was going to happen. So,
No.
yeah, tell me a little bit about that process of when you guys released that album in 2020. And I think you played Walking, and then after that you had to cancel all the shows. And
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that process in 2020 with that album.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. We released the album. The release show was the first thing we actually had in such a long time, and it was I believe it was actually the 28th of February in 2020. So which basically was just a few weeks out before the worldwide lockdown.
Yeah.
And so it was the last show. We didn't know at that moment, but it was actually the last show in that venue for a long time due to the pandemic. And we were, of course, we were watching the news and getting things, became a bit more present. Things are not going or looking so good at the moment, but still, it was far from being serious. We joked around. I remember us drinking, Corona beer and joking about, we'll see what happens. And we all found out.
Yeah.
And of course, the release show went great. We had such fun, but also that was it should have been the starting point for something, but it actually was the end of something. Yeah. But let me be honest, I don't want to complain about that because, in all seriousness, things afterwards hit so many people so very hard, and so many of our friends and musicians all over the world, of course. And
We were
we
all in
by
it
that
together.
time, yeah, by that time it was for us it was still supposed to be a hobby. Of course, we wanted to take it seriously, but not that I'm a musician by profession type of seriousness. So of course we were hit hard with all our plans for the album, but we weren't as much affected as so many other musicians.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The release show was played, and that was about it. And so the whole album just kind of went under the bus or
Oh yeah,
hit the
that
wall.
that year was sucked because like a lot of like great albums went undetected because like so many
Yes.
things were happening. So why did the band took a 7-year hiatus in the first place from 2014 until 2020?
It wasn't actually the whole thing was a hiatus. We had a couple of shows in between, which kind of marked our reunion, um, or the audience knew, okay, they're still around. They haven't split or anything, but um, to produce a whole nother album and to write the songs just took us a while. And we figured after 3 years of hiatus, we figured, okay, we might want to check out how things work if we keep on writing, but we don't want to hype anybody about it because we don't know how it goes. By that time, we already had canceled our rehearsal room, and we produced the last album, the self-titled one, a bit way differently than from the albums before, which we solely pre-wrote in the rehearsal room. Like, but this time around, or that time around, it was different. It was just basically Toby, our guitarist and main driver of this progress, who'd written the riffs and kind of bounced the ideas around with me. This was, of course, before the pandemic happened, but we didn't like physically play together. It was just okay. Let's check out. Let's drum computer do the thing and kind of pre-produce stuff. Yeah, that was the whole process with that album. It's kind of a bit not too romantic and not really the things we like for this kind of process, like writing an album. So we were so looking forward after finishing the production to actually be playing again together and live and stuff. And that's the point where we just left.
Yeah, and you guys started in 2004 at the height of metalcore. A lot of bands were like very popular at that time. You had your Killswitch Engage, you had harder ones,
Yes.
you know, your on Nerve, so many bands, Neaera, all those bands. It was a good time. So you guys started at that time. So now in 2021, so you guys did this album that obviously you had to sit on. And in 2021, you guys said, fuck it. Let's record new music. We're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said
that was absolutely, because we're sitting around, nothing to do. I'm just exaggerating. Of course, we everybody we're in our 40s now, so everybody's got priorities a bit differently, but still there's always the love for music, and you want to express yourself, especially in those weird times. Let's say there was when the pandemic became normality, or some kind of I don't know, it's just not that serious or threatening anymore. So you see, okay, where are we going from here? And it was clear to us we wanted to continue, because there was so much energy still left in us. And this was when we decided, okay, we need to take the different approach from what I just told about the production of the self-titles. So we booked a rehearsal room again and found ourselves just bouncing around ideas, and of course maybe a lot more even talking, like finding back together a bit. So this was a great way of getting relief from all this I don't know ideas and energy still. So we focused on music again. And also I got to mention we had a small rather small black metal project also going on, which was so small and really went under the radar, but it's not a big deal. But if you want to check it out, it's a collaboration with Marcus Bishop from Heaven Shall Burn. He's the singer on this. It's 4 tracks. It's a small EP. And we released it kind of ourselves. And
what's the name of the EP?
It's Our Loss is Total. It's also on Apple Music, Spotify, etc. And we released only vinyl. Yeah, maybe check that out later. I'll see what you think. It's black metal. It's black metal-ish. It kind of fits.
I like
it was during winter.
Yeah. So you guys, you got back together, and you, like you said, you booked some time to talk. Like, were you like, "Hi, I'm Sebastian. I play drums in the band."
I used to play drums. Now I'm unemployed on that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Just see how things are going. You know, with our private lives, what our minds are up to, and I don't know, thinking about possibilities. We were still not sure if we wanted to write a full album. There were first we wanted to just write one song, and this you better not.
Which was the first song that you wrote for this record?
okay, the first song we wrote is rather on the second half of the album by now. It's not too important anymore to us. It's still a great song. I still like it very much. Um, it's called Render Fear Powerless. It's probably the fastest, definitely the fastest song on the record. It's rather thrashy, and it's got some nice catchy verses, but chorus. Yeah, we continued from there, but found the material we continued to write didn't really resonate anymore. We were kind of, I don't know, grown out of it a bit. It felt like we did it before already. I personally feel the self-titled album was really solid. Was personally love it. Um, and because I think it's not so easy to really catch up to this level. So we did what we normally wouldn't do. We scrapped songs because we we wrote them. We were like, oh, there's where let's next rehearsal. The rehearsals were monthly rather than weekly, so a long time between. And then we figured, no, it doesn't, it's really not that kind of, and so we scrapped them and started anew and tried to make it a bit more differently that time around. And yeah, in conclusion, that's what the new album is all about.
So probably you guys were doubting yourself because you had such a long time in between, and now that you're going to tour, that the world is open to tour, I'm guessing you want to play material from the 2020 album as well.
Yes, but it's actually it's so difficult because the lineups or the shows we are about to play are everything that's planned, which isn't much really. It is just a handful of festivals at this moment,
So yeah, you
and
have
this
like a
is
limited time to play, and you want to
yeah,
play
it's
some favorites that the fans remember and stuff.
you can't even you can't even fit as a title per album in it. It's it's so narrow, it's so short of time, and you want to have your of course the fan favorites. Let's say you need to play those, and this rules out playing songs from certain albums altogether. So of course, I'd like to play more of the self-titled stuff, but I'm afraid if we want to present new stuff or play it live, which works really well, we found, then yeah, let me see what I think. This is there's two songs we play
Yeah, I know that
from
the
the last one.
album, you have two singles out. You have Pacifier, which has a
Yeah.
music video, and you have All Is Dust, which is the name of the album. Yeah, that's a great album title. Did you came up with it as a group or the singer? Tell me about the story of naming the album.
Yeah. I think the idea of All Is Dust was already or had already been uttered a long time, or maybe a couple of years ago by our bassist. We were bouncing around ideas back then. Uh, I think even maybe it's even from finding a band name. It's a possibility. I'm not so sure, but it kind of still echoed. And when we thought about what do we name it, because most of the songs were already written, it was still was we were figuring the lyrics out, or rather, Stefan, the main lyric writer, was figuring it out. But and then Toby, the other guitarist, came up with, what about All Is Dust? It's still, I still think about it. It's so simple, and but it has such a gravitas to it. Um, it doesn't really sound stupid, but it's not so
No.
sophisticated. It's just All Is Dust is such a and we thought like, yeah, maybe All Is Dust. Maybe that's exactly what we yeah have in mind right now.
The good thing is that you
Because
didn't.
everything is relative.
Yeah, if you had named it "All We Are Is Dust in the Wind," then there would have been a problem there. They'll be like, no, 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 cut the wind part. So I want to show the artwork for the record, which is it's a pretty cool artwork. I read the name. I think Giannis. I can't remember right now. I read the name of the artist.
Narcos.
Makos.
Giannis Narcos.
Giannis Makos. Yeah. So tell me.
Narcos. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit. I know he's done artwork for bands like Oceans of Slumber and many other bands. So tell me a little bit about what the band wanted for this album artwork, because I see there's like a fish. Oh, not only that's a very venomous fish.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I believe he already had this artwork in his catalog, but didn't really know what to do with it, as far as he needed the right occasion for it to be presented. And he, as I remember, he put such a ton of work in it, and let everything through in there. And we just asked him, do you have anything in mind maybe? And he said, guys, just let me see, let me do it. Don't tell me anything but the title. And so he bounced this back to us, and we were blown away by the artistic and everything, the composition. It's a lot going on. Not everything's necessary exactly or closely related to the title All Is Dust. Normally think of maybe something different, but on the other hand, it's decay, it's misery, it's, I don't know, beauty, but still tainted. Whatever. I think it's such an eye-catching cover, and also it's first of all, he's Greek. Neaera, the name is also Greek. It's from a mythological figure. Neaera, it's a heroine. Maybe it's her on the album cover. I don't know. But there's a lot going on which we like, and yeah, we didn't mention anything he had to change about it. We were just we are so happy with it, and in vinyl it looks amazing. Yeah,
I'm sure it does, and I like the gold. You know, the gold with the gray, and yeah, it's really a great album, eye-popping album artwork that pops at you, and you like feel it. So tell us a little bit about the recording process for this. How did you, how was the recording like at this, you know, like in pandemic times, like having to record? How did you guys approach this?
Yeah, thankfully, when we started recording last fall, the pandemic was already kind of over, so there was no need to have anything like of a be cautious about. So we basically, I think we did was ask our good friend Janos Radma. He's the drummer in the band called Long Distance Calling. He's been a long time musician, and he built a new studio. He is he's got everything going on. He has a awesome drum kit there already, so it was no need for me to bring my stuff. And he's such a cool guy to work with. And yeah, basically he has everything, and also the kind of, he gets what we want to accomplish, or he got it. And yeah, it was overall very relaxed. We did our part, like shaking the drums about the course of 3 days. So there was, of course, not much songwriting going on by that. So we mostly have our songs already written. It's just a matter of what kind of tempo we prefer for certain parts and stuff. There's a lot of different tempi in the songs, very subtle, I think, but still we needed to figure stuff like that out. But we didn't change anything of the song structure or anything at all at that point. So yeah.
Okay. So you were rock solid, and I know that the day of the album release, you guys are playing the Bandstream Rockfest, right? Mainstream.
Yes, which mainstream, yeah,
Is
it's
it
a
main? Yeah.
by now it's
What?
a I think for the vein stream, like blood vein, it's in a, and not anniversary, but it's been around 10 years also. A solid institution and huge lineup. Boys at Fires playing, I think, and stuff like that. There's
Oh,
events for
awesome.
every yeah for everybody. And yeah, this will be our first show for yeah for a couple of months, and we're pretty pumped
No, I bet.
about that.
Do you have like a pre-concert ritual to get ready?
No, just be nervous
That's been
and
you know, you
be nervous
gotta,
and
you
stand
know, you,
around and don't know what to do and stand in the way of some people who know what they're doing. But I don't know. I think the mainstream it's basically it's for us it's a matinee show because it starts like 12 o'clock noon.
oh,
It's
oh. Well,
so
I went to
yeah
a,
they have to.
yeah, I've been to Ozfest that where they start like at 8:30 a.m. And you think like it
eh,
has to be the worst time slot to play 8:30 a.m.
Yeah, who's even away? Who's even been to bed by that? I don't know. Yeah, but the earlier you're done, I don't know. I hope some people are already around. I believe so. But still, it's a bit weird. But we
What
expect
time
a
are you
great
guys
weather.
playing?
I believe we are the first band to start.
Well, at least
It's
it's
a
not at 8:30 a.m.
no, 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 no. But still, yeah. But it's as I said, it's a short time span, so we have to pack stuff in there. We already have our set list. Tomorrow's be will be the last rehearsal, and yeah, we see how things go. I'm very excited for that because the weather is supposed to be good. It's of course open air festival, and it's I think it should be a great day.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be you just get away the nerves and just do it. So yeah, the album
Yeah.
I like it because it's pretty immediate and obviously it's inspired by everything that's happened these few years. I love the album opener, Antidote to Faith. I think that's one of my favorite songs.
Ah,
And
okay.
that should is that gonna be the first single? Because that sounds like a single.
Okay, great you said it because it was actually the first song we written. Yeah, thinking this kind of approach. This we want to make it like that. So and we left it there. We always knew this would be the opener, like with the toms and the kind of a bit of. I don't want to. I always think about Sepultura playing that part because it's such a standard thing, but still it gets you pumping and yeah, I like that song also.
Yeah, yes, it's a great album opener. I think the two singles that you picked are great, but I think that one has that single mentality. There's other great songs on the record. Into the
Okay.
Hollow also is a great album closer. That's good to have, like an important album opener and a great album
Mhm.
closer. And I like it because this is an album that has aggression, but also has accessibility. It has like that hookiness in some of the choruses that I'm thinking
Yeah.
you were going, that's where you're going for because metalcore can be hard,
Yes.
but also have that melodic side. If not, it will be called hard.
Yes. Yeah. We like that about songs, or we try to accomplish it. Of course, you can't write the same song over and over again, so
Oh,
there has to be a diversity. And this is kind of our the thing we strive for is like make a good song, whatever that means. Not let part after part after part, but there has to be a red line, or maybe you know, you, it has to be consistent. I
Yeah.
don't know how to really, yeah.
No, no, you explained it really well. So Sebastian, you being a drummer, like when you started playing drums, which drummers influence you?
Okay, Phil Collins.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
Phil Collins is,
yeah,
yeah, like the dude can sing, he can
I
play.
know he's the face of the 80s. I know that, but still, he was basically his Genesis rather, his drumming in Genesis was what I grew up with,
Mhm.
and of course, everybody's like, "No, you gotta jump on him." Is of course as a rock drummer, but
From who did
he
who,
has huh?
what name did you say? I didn't hear you.
John Bonham, because every rock drummer or um, many refer to him as the, that's okay, but I didn't know him at that time when I was a child. When I was like 6 years old, I wanted to play drums because Phil Collins started at 6. That's what I remember about him. And yeah, of course, over the time or growing up, there were other huge influences, but the main impact was and still will always be Phil Collins. His drumming is yeah.
He's a good singer as well. What would you do if you met
Yeah, so of course.
if you met Phil Collins? The first thing
I don't
you could ask him about legal advice because he likes to marry, divorce, and give money to people. So,
uh I don't know. I think I just I think he isn't in the best shape
yeah.
at the
Well, do
moment.
you have like a favorite song from him in like a favorite song that he's played drums in? Like,
Yeah, there's many favorite Behind the Lines probably for Genesis. It's I don't know. It's a lot of things going on. It's a long musical intro, and he's hitting everything in this part. It's but it's still so catchy, and mostly Tony Banks on the keyboards having his melody. But Phil Collins is just
yeah, no, no, it really. I think you would get a little bit nervous if you met him. Like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, when
yeah,
you
you
meet your
bet.
idols and you're like, oh, Phil Collins, take a look at me now.
Yeah, ex
Reciting lyrics. So yeah, so the album's gonna be out. Obviously, it's out on Metal Blade Records, which is a great
yeah,
record label. I'll put the link for the pre-order for the vinyl variants, all that good stuff that people will want to get. So after that
thank
show
you.
you have, I think you have like 3 or 4 shows. What are the immediate plans for Neaera now that all its dust is almost here? Like, are you gonna do more shows? I'm guessing you want to get back on the road since being and like just get back out there and play.
Yeah, yeah, but in reality, it's a bit more anticlimactic this time around because we simply don't have the time and not necessarily the means because we know how things work and we could always make space, but the priorities are still a bit differently now, even from the last album release. So actually we're just focusing on the next shows and we don't have anything planned, no tour planned. There's talks, but nothing I can confirm, and
So you're
honestly,
just
nothing.
like testing the waters a little bit.
Yeah, or maybe this is all right already, and it's not like like it was back then when you had the whole year lined up or laid out
And
to
you were in
play.
your 20s, probably.
Yes, there was no private life of that kind. There were no families or kids or I don't know dogs to to tend to. This is just the road and off you go because you were sick of hanging around. Now it's not necessarily the other way around. But I think the way from here, from our personal lives and perspectives, is has become such a long one to be ever living the tour life again and really appreciating it. Yeah, I think you have to at least really appreciate it to get back in the bus and be away for a month or so. I've seen when I was or when we all were younger, we've seen many bands of for us older people like we toured with maybe Cataclysm and I don't know Solberg. Bands were the main musicians were way older than us, and just they had a different vibe. It was sometimes you felt yeah they don't really like it here. They do it for the I don't know
Yeah,
because
I
they
mean,
have to
I
maybe
can
and
tell it turns into a job. So
yeah
yeah,
it's
and the road can be weary, but at least you
uh,
have 4 shows planned. You have 2 in August, one in the Summer
yes
Festival. Then you play Reload Festival, the
yeah
16th, the 17th of August, and on September 14th you'll have your record release show. Uh,
release show yeah
so yeah, that should be
yeah
fun. Sebastian, I want to thank you, for taking some time to chat with me about all
you're
its.
welcome.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a very cool, entertaining metalcore record with good riffing and melody, and with lyrics that are relatable because of these past few years that humanity has
Yeah,
passed.
yeah.
And plus, I learned that you love Phil Collins, which is always great to ask because yeah, some musicians you never know. You could like some musicians like they could give you like but it's an honest answer. You love Phil Collins and
Yeah,
yeah, he's
why
wrote
not honest?
songs and to me I say that my modern Phil Collins is Dave Grohl.
Yeah, mine too.
Because
I
he
could have
sings,
went on
he
and
does
would have.
drums, and like to me, I'm like he's the modern Phil Collins.
Yeah, I
Because
could have went on with my influences and went straight to Dave Grohl. Of course, he's also a huge influence for me. Never mind, changed my life back then, and yeah, but that's that's a different story
yeah,
for another
no,
time.
another time. So, what would you like to say to the Neaera fans, that have stuck with the band through all this stuff and are there excited for this new album?
Yeah, I hope you like the new one. It's from us to you. We have always in mind what people might appreciate and what they like about us and what we like about ourselves. We want to release music that we love, but also think the fans would appreciate. So, and thank you for sticking around with us.
Yeah,
We're still in the same lineup.
yeah,
I
that's
think
amazing.
this is also a huge or it is an important part in our um, in the whole production or productivity process is to know we are still the same guys, the same dudes going order. And we're happy if the fans share some time with us and our music and keep in touch. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
that sounds like a plan. So I would also say, Sebastian, like if you guys pre-order the new album and buy the 2020 album, you get a t-shirt. That way you can so they can buy the 2020 album as well.
Okay,
Mark,
if you bring the album,
yeah.
just
Call,
yeah,
call
just
the
refer
people at
to
Metal Blade Records. I'm like the Shield dude on a couch gave me an idea, like like
yeah,
an idea to sell both
no,
records.
I got an idea. If you refer to the T-Dude on the couch, just hit us up on the merchandise and you get a T-shirt.
If they saw me here, I'm like, I saw the interview on the Shield dude on a couch. So
You made it possible.
yes, so Sebastian, hope everything is good with the album release and the
Thank you.
pre-order. So I'll post this very soon so people can get those pre-orders and help the band since you guys have some struggles. So you wanna get the word out there that Neaera is back with all this stuff. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch. and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.